Hi, I'm Annmarie Boulay, and I am the Executive Director of the Underground New England. And I just want to thank you today for tuning in and hearing a little bit of good news that the Underground's about to launch a new program. First, though, I want to thank everyone who has been part of our community, the churches that stand with us, the various towns and cities that we've spoken to, schools, universities, colleges. Just want to thank you all because over the years, because we've collaborated and been part of this great initiative, we now have thousands of members that stand with the Underground and stand in the gap for victims of human trafficking in the state of Connecticut, which is a very, very powerful force of collaboration. And without you, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. You volunteer, you advocate, you create things, you pray. We just can't thank you enough, and we're very grateful for the many ways that you support this effort. In 2022, the Underground is going to experience a milestone. We'll be at this work for 10 years, and I still can't believe that, but we've been serving the state of Connecticut, the stakeholders, victims, and survivors, bringing awareness of human trafficking to Connecticut for 10 years. And in that time, we have learned the benefit of collaborating with the stakeholders, the state agencies, churches far and wide throughout Connecticut, and a whole host of businesses. And together, we can eradicate trafficking in Connecticut, and that's our prayer and our hope. You're going to start to see some changes with the Underground. I mean, as we move into our 10th year, we're rebranding and we're giving ourselves a fresh look, and our messaging is going to be new. Underground has always been about awareness, prevention, and direct supports to victims and survivors. And also, we wanted to always be a support to the frontline workers and the various agencies. And the Underground represents the church and of Connecticut, and you have done well in that, in all of those categories, and nothing's going to change. We're going to continue to be about awareness, prevention, and direct support. However, we have learned some pretty important lessons in the past 10 years, and it has to do with a real pathway of care when people want to leave the life of trafficking and come into a life of liberty. And that's really why I'm online today talking to you. As I said, we'll be about prevention, awareness, and direct support, but we also want to expand our services. You'll remember, because we spoke to you about this in 2017, that we had a desire to bring a transitional home into the state of Connecticut. We looked far and wide for a home that would be good for our state and looked at many, many programs throughout the United States, and we landed at a home in eastern Massachusetts, the North Shore of Mass, called Amira. We invited Amira to partner with the Underground, and together, it took a few years, but they just recently opened their transitional home in the state of Connecticut in 2021, and have welcomed many people into that home who are receiving services, and we're very grateful that they're here. Their program is long-term, and it's intended to help people stay in place, get some therapeutic services, begin to heal, and eventually transition out of that home and into an independent life. That is a very important piece of work in the state of Connecticut. Back in 2017, there weren't a lot of housing providers. We now have some providers, many more in the state of Connecticut, which we're grateful for. We also have something called rapid rehousing that several of the agencies offer, which is great. When we were looking at Amira, we were trying to learn what would be most important as far as various pathways of care for getting people into a new life. And though Amira is a big part of this, and transitional housing is a big part of this, there's also needed to be other offerings. And so we explored emergency housing, we explored independent living, and where we've landed is is wanting to bring to the state of Connecticut a program that allows survivors to experience independent living through our support financially, where we subsidize rentals and we also utilize a mentor program. So that's our new initiative going into 2022. We want to bring a mentor program in conjunction with a housing program that will allow survivors to integrate into the community, build relationships with mentors, experiences services within communities, understand their resources, retrain, and just become part of a community of survivors. That's kind of the dream. We've been piloting this program for the past year. We've been serving 17 different survivors in this capacity, 4 of which are now training to be mentors in the underground, with their work being to help other people come out of that darkness and into the light and into a new life. Today, the reason why I'm speaking to you is because we have been blessed with 2 donors that have promised the underground a $50,000 donation, and they're giving us an opportunity to do a matching campaign so that we can have the seed money to fund this new initiative. We are taking the month of November to have this matching campaign. You're going to hear a lot about it. And we would love for you to pray about giving and giving generously so that at the end of November, we'll have $100,000 to fund the beginnings of this program. You should know that the Underground's currently working with landlords in the state of Connecticut and building partnerships. Again, we have several of our survivors placed in this rental program that are working alongside of mentors on a daily basis, and it's really going well. We have a few that have retrained, and they're scheduled to probably stand on their own within the next year. And we won't leave them after they start their new life. We'll still be very much a part of their world, but the point is they'll be standing on their own. So it's an exciting future. We think it's very important to the eradication of trafficking in Connecticut, and we're happy to be offering this starting in 2022. You'll see more information on our website about this new program and initiative. Please read about it. And we thank you again for your generosity and the very great way that you've made such a difference in so many people's lives. God bless you.